Well, another week is in the books, so it's time to recap what happened in week 5 of the 2014 NFL season. I'm going to go right into some of the top storylines of the week. The first one that really stands out to me is the fact that after only 5 weeks, there are no more unbeaten teams in the NFL. And the last two unbeatens coming off of a bye at that in Cincinnati and Arizona both got boat raced in their respective week 5 matchups. No more unbeaten teams. That's awful early in the season for that to happen. Usually you have one or two stragglers at least till the midpoint of the season. Just again speaks to the parity of the National Football League and one of the things that a lot of fans really like. Another top storyline for this week has to be the way that Tom Brady and the New England Patriots responded at home on Sunday night against the Cincinnati Bengals after that embarrassing road loss at Arrowhead in week 4 to the Kansas City Chiefs. All the talk of Tom Brady's demise was perhaps a bit premature. But what you really saw with Tom Brady was his leadership and his will. He imposed his will at the very beginning of that game. That first drive on Cincinnati's defense, they went storming down the field. And you could see what a true leader looks like because Tom Brady said, I'm going for this, and you're either going to follow me or you're not, but it's not going to stop me. And his team followed, and his team responded very, very well. Another big storyline for this week involves both Brady and Peyton Manning to me. As I think about both of these guys, Brady's been around since 2001 as a starter, and Manning since his rookie year in 1998. It makes me feel kind of old knowing that I've seen their entire careers. But these guys both hit major milestones in their career on Sunday. Peyton Manning, of course, had 4 touchdown passes, now has 503 touchdowns passing in his career, second only behind Brett Favre, and he's going to get that record very, very soon. And Tom Brady passed the 50,000 passing yards mark for his career. 2 outstanding quarterbacks, 2 all-time greats, 2 first-ballot Hall of Famers. And to me, sometimes we can get caught up in our feelings about Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, and I know I do, and I know a lot of you do as well. But to me, you look at them and you see what happened in their games on Sunday, and you could see that those games to me, both for Manning and for Brady, really represent and personify who they've been throughout their National Football League careers. You have Peyton Manning, who is beyond question to me the greatest statistical regular season quarterback in NFL history, who is able to impose his will on games just based off of his ability to master opposing defenses, master what he is supposed to do offensively. An incredibly cerebral guy that also still has that ability to make those incredible throws, those incredible plays, those incredible decisions, those incredible reads that very few people in the history of the league has ever been able to make. And then on the other hand, you have Tom Brady, who doesn't always have the weapons that a Peyton Manning does. He doesn't always have the help that a Peyton Manning does. But he wins games and dominates in a different way. He does it through leadership, force of will, desire. And you saw that Sunday night against the Cincinnati Bengals. It was tremendous. Like I commented on Twitter on that first drive, that was the fuck it drive. That was Tom Brady putting his stamp on that game. Both dominant, all-time great, first-ballot Hall of Fame players. And you could see based off of what happened on Sunday how they've done it throughout their careers in entirely different yet incredibly successful ways. And we also got to look at the Cleveland Browns, too. What a story they are. The largest road comeback victory in the history of the National Football League. My goodness. At 2-2 and having been competitive in every game and being a house of fire in the second half of every game, Mike Pettin and those Browns, they're a force to be reckoned with in the AFC. I didn't think I was going to say that. Now let's go on to some of the winners and losers for week number 5. I'll start off with the winners. I got to go with the New England Patriots. They responded in a big way. They deserved the criticism they got after week number 4, and frankly, even week after 3. They did not look like a good football team. They looked lost on offense. They looked bad on defense. He didn't have any of those concerns in week number 5. To be able to handle and dominate such a well-balanced team and such a quality opponent like the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday night, changes the narrative quite a bit about the New England Patriots, at least for the short time going forward in this season. I got to look at the Dallas Cowboys, man. 4-1 is 4-1. And who would have seen this coming, honestly, for the Cowboys heading into this season? I could sit there and talk about strength of schedule. I could talk about, lucky, close wins. But the bottom line is 4-1 is 4-1. And in a hostile home environment that really felt like a road game, for them to pull out that win in overtime, that was quality stuff. That was a game in a lot of ways that maybe the Cowboys should have lost, and they found a way to win. At 4-1, they're definitely one of the winners of week number 5, as are the San Francisco 49ers. I think they got back to more of who the San Francisco 49ers need to be. Their defense is playing a lot better. They're starting to figure out, hey, we do a lot better when we're a physical offense and we run the ball with fucking Frank Gore. And they've done that more. And now they're at 3-2, and they're looking a whole lot better than they did just a couple of weeks ago. And I got to go to the Cleveland Browns. They're a quality 2-2. Every game they've played, they've been in it. Even their 2 losses to the Steelers and the Ravens, they just as easily could have won those games as lost those games. So the Cleveland Browns, believe it or not, are about this close away from being a 4-0 football team, and clearly would be the talk of the National Football League if that was the case. You know, even with the lack of supposed weapons on offense, a defense that is getting torched, especially in the first half of every game, the Cleveland Browns are resilient. They're persistent. Brian Hoyer keeps fighting. His team keeps chugging under head coach Mike Pettin, and they're 2-2. And they're a good 2-2 right now. Now let's go to some of the losers. You know, the Cincinnati Bengals, to come off of a bye and get steamrolled like that. This is why people like me that want to get behind the Cincinnati Bengals and treat them as a real deal contender in the AFC have trepidation about it, and we're fearful of doing it. It's because of bad games like this. You had 2 weeks to prepare against a team that hadn't played well pretty much all season long, and you got boat raced and dominated in every aspect of the game by the New England Patriots. You know, yes, it's 1 week, and maybe you'll respond to this in week 6, like the the Patriots responded to their week 4 loss in week 5 against you. That's a bad loss. You look at the Tennessee Titans, too. Largest comeback victory on the road ever for the Cleveland Browns. While they won, somebody had to lose and choke it down their legs, and the Tennessee Titans most certainly did. This is a bad football team, clearly on the path to having a top 5 pick in the 2014 NFL Draft. The Titans just can't get it right. The Detroit Lions, to lose that game at home to the Bills, that's the Lions in a nutshell. Their offense wasn't nearly as good as it needed to be. Their kicker, Alex Henry, missed 3 field goals. That's just the Lions. And it appears, as much as I was thinking, that 2014 would be a little different in terms of they'd be a more disciplined unit and they would better execute in these winning situations. It seems like they're the same old Detroit Lions from the Jim Schwartz era. And then I got to look at Jerry Jones, too. I never skip on a chance to blast Jerry Jones, and I'm going to blast him here. Your fucking team is 4-1, but yet a home game turns into a road game. How in the hell does that happen? How in the hell are you there at your Mecca, the shrine to your fucking ego, even though you don't deserve it? How in the hell are there more Texans fans there than Cowboys fans? This is supposed to be America's team. Not only are they not America's team, apparently they're not even Texas's team. This game, the Cowboys were outdrawn by the expansion team from Houston that is in their 13th season of existence. As is so often the case, Jerry Jones is a loser, and in this case, it's because somehow it slipped through the cracks that you'd be able to sell that many tickets to fucking Texans fans. Just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Now let's look at some of the stars of week number 5. Got to go to Aaron Rodgers, man. That Green Bay offense is cooking, and Aaron Rodgers, after a really sluggish, slow start to the season, the last 2 weeks, he's caught fire, and he's clicking on all cylinders, and he's letting you know why he does the cigarette puffing. Tell everybody to RELAX. Well, if you're a Packers fan right now, after the last 2 games, you probably are a lot more relaxed than you were a few weeks ago because Aaron Rodgers looks like Aaron Rodgers. Demaryius Thomas of the Denver Broncos going against the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday afternoon. You can talk about Peyton Manning, and obviously he was a huge star, but Demaryius Thomas setting a Broncos franchise record for most receiving yards. I mean, he, after a slow start to the season, a lot of people have Demaryius Thomas in their fantasy football leagues. They know all about this. They're starting to get a little worried about him. Well, week 5 made you feel a lot better about him. He was a big-time star. And then I look at the San Diego Chargers defense, too. This was a defense that pitched the first shutout in the National Football League of 2014. You could sit there and say it was against the Jets. Surely that didn't hurt. But the fact is, this is a defense that is doing a lot of good things right now, and in my opinion has the Chargers actually looking like the most balanced, complete team in all of the National Football League. Now, who are the GOATs of week number 5? Oh, Jay Cutler. You know it. This was supposed to be an elite offense. This was supposed to be the season that so many idiots, both fans and the national media, thought was going to be Cutler's monster season. It was going to be an MVP candidate, and the offense was going to carry this team to the playoffs. Well, instead, the Bears are 2-3. Cutler had 3 turnovers in the second half. An offense that is supposed to carry this team and be one of the best in the NFL scored 3 points in the second half against the Carolina Panthers. Whereas Tom Brady is a leader, and you saw on Sunday night how he imposes his will and challenges those around him and makes others around him better. And that's why he's an elite quarterback, a franchise quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback, and a quality leader. The Chicago Bears are also a result of their quarterback and his terrible leadership. Jay Cutler is no leader of men. Jay Cutler is not the type of guy that you can ever even harbor any type of hopes of winning a championship with. I've talked about it before. Stupid fucking idiots have ever doubted me. Shame on you. Put your head up your ass, because clearly, well, there's no need to, because clearly, if you don't agree with me on this, your head already permanently resides there. He was terrible. This is a guy 31 years old, 9th year in the damn league, and he's throwing into triple coverage. He's overthrowing 5'10" slot receivers. This is a guy holding onto the ball way too damn long. This is a guy, it's just Jay being Jay, man. What the fuck else did you expect? Alex Henry of the Detroit Lions. The Lions should have won at home on Sunday against the Bills. They should be 4-1. People should be questioning Doug Marrone, and rightfully so, for his move of going to Kyle Orton as a starter. Instead, Alex Henry misses 3 field goals, and the Detroit Lions lose a game that they should win. And he got cut. So he was clearly to blame, a large part, for the Lions' loss in week number 5. And then I got to go to Rex Ryan. This great Rex Ryan defensive genius. His team gives up 31 points on Sunday. This great Rex Ryan and his masterful coaching benches Geno Smith at halftime because he wants to kill yet another young quarterback. He already did it with Mark Sanchez. Why not do it with another one before you show him the fucking door? This defense that you've invested 6 first-round picks on in the past 5 years gave up 31 points. Your offense that you spent big money on in the offseason to bring in a washed-up Chris Johnson and a number 2 wide receiver like Eric Decker, who I don't even believe played in week number 5, scored nothing. They didn't even cross midfield into Chargers territory until late into the 4th quarter. Rex Ryan is clearly a GOAT, and I can't believe that he still has a damn job. Anyways, with that said, that's my recap of Week 5 of the 2014 NFL season. Let me know what your top stories were, your winners and losers, your stars and GOATs, all of that. I want to hear from you. And if you are still one of those remaining idiots that is attempting to still defend Jay Cutler, please let me know what parallel universe you are living in, what type of ganja you are fucking smoking, what type of crack you are fucking snorting, and let me know why you still believe the stupidity that you do.